All right, 1 2 1 2. I'm here, trying to get this conversation going. And once again, I have a lot of people asking me the same thing, where I stand, and it seems like we can't be moving forward without really understanding what's really going on because a lot of the information that I got, what I'm saying, I can't bring it forth. First of all, because it's very difficult to have someone to have a conversation with about China or anything like that, right? So for me to really take my time and be in front of you and then trying to have this conversation in a way that nobody's getting in trouble, and if somebody's getting in trouble, so listen, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many of y'all run for trouble, but if you're not looking for trouble and the trouble comes, trouble will come. But my whole thing is, my whole thing with China is we really gotta start everything from that one point. It's like one of these things where you're watching a movie, but you didn't really see what happened. You didn't see what happened, so now you following this movie. You have your own perception of what's really going on, and because you just miss an important piece before. You know what I'm saying? So that's what. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's drink about it. Like, let me see. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let me try to invite some of my people here to try to have this conversation. Like, it's the conversations about China, Hong Kong. This is where we are, but let's have the conversation where I want to hear from the youth. I don't even want to talk to adults right now. Like, to be honest with you, like, I don't really want to talk to adults because adults got their own problems, and this whole thing, like, as far as the whole commotion that took place here. It's not adults per se that were involved in. What I'm saying, the front line wasn't adults, right? So it's like it's good to have conversation with youths or with youths. Okay, let me see. All right, let me try to. I'm trying to go ahead, man. Okay, but yeah, let me play some. Let me play an introductory, like, so we know where I stand with this. Let me play an introductory. Uh, Hopefully, y'all can hear it once again. Hold on. Let me play an introductory. Share screen. Share screen.
Overall program that's existing on the African continent. The two problems must be. The Organization of Afro-American Unity sees the only hope for the black man in America in a strong Africa, and the necessity of the Afro-American becoming inseparably linked with the overall program that's existing on the African continent. The two problems must be solved together, and the two forces must go forward together. And so the Organization of Afro-American Unity has a program to link the Afro-Americans with the Africans and the Africans with the Afro-Americans. When I say Afro-Americans, I mean those throughout the entire Western Hemisphere. This is our only hope. Our hope is in a strong Africa. And when Africa is strong, our position in America will be one of respect. But if Africa is weak, we will never be in a position of respect in America. They used to have a saying that one doesn't have a Chinaman's chance. But they don't say that anymore. They used that expression back when China was weak. But now, since Mao Zedong has been successful in making China a strong country, the Chinese have more chance than anybody else. So this saying has become outdated. Well, just as it took a strong China to give a Chinese person respect wherever that Chinese person is found on this earth, when we get a strong Africa, the person of African origin or African ancestry will be respected any place on this earth, even in America. But he will not be respected in America until Africa is strong, just as the Chinaman wasn't respected abroad until China became strong.
All right. This is where we at with it. I'm gonna play it one more time just to make sure that we fully understanding what the message is and where I'm going with this. Cause at the end of the day, I'm just trying to separate. I'm trying to separate everything so that we can then put things back together and then understand. Okay, I see clear now. Cause right now everything is just all in confusion. You understand what I'm saying to you? Sometimes it's best that way. You separate everything and then you put it back together. Then you understand that, okay, I understand the mechanism behind this. So, again, I'm going to play this one more time.
Sees the only hope for the black man in America in a strong Africa, and the necessity of the Afro-American becoming inseparably linked with the overall program that's existing on the African continent. The two problems must be solved together, and the two forces must go forward together. And so the Organization of Afro-American Unity has a program to link the Afro-Americans with the Africans and the Africans with the Afro-Americans. When I say Afro-Americans, I mean those throughout the entire Western Hemisphere. This is our only hope. Our hope is in a strong Africa. And when Africa is strong, our position in America will be one of respect. But if Africa is weak, we will never be in a position of respect in America. They used to have a saying that one doesn't have a Chinaman's chance. But they don't say that anymore. They used that expression back when China was weak. But now since Mao Zedong has been successful in making China a strong country, the Chinese have more chance than anybody else. So this saying has become outdated. Well, just as it took a strong China to give a Chinese person respect wherever that Chinese person is found on this earth, when we get a strong Africa, the person of African origin or African ancestry will be respected any place on this earth, even in America. But he will not be respected in America until Africa is strong, just as the Chinaman wasn't respected abroad until China became strong.
All right, all right, all right, all right. So we got this part. So basically, um, the title says like, should we be afraid of China? And the introduction that I brought forth is basically to kind of let you know where I stand. I stand as as a black man. I stand. I find it so difficult to go against China. I may be wrong. Somebody else may teach me otherwise, and I'm here to learn, right? You live and you learn. So before I bring in start asking people questions or having conversation with teenagers, because it's important to have these type of conversations with teenagers because they are the future. It's good to try to understand how they see the future, like and how much of the history or the stories of the past do they know, right? This is very important. Um, so again, I'm gonna go ahead and play one last. It's not the last of the videos, but one last video before I jump back in and have a proper conversation or whatnot. Let's see, where is this thing here? All right, this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, let's stop sharing this one here. Stop sharing. All right, once again, like I was saying, it's good to have conversation with people um, who may have, more knowledge than I do. That person could be a person younger than me, older than me, who's been here longer than me, or But at the end of the day, it's about us having a conversation where you can kind of root out like what's what's fake, what's real, what's really going on for us to try to understand. Because if we're trying to bring solutions to the table, okay, let's see what the problem is stemming from. Let's go to the root of it. Once we got it there to the root, we got to the root of it, it's easy to then find the proper medicine, remedies in order to alleviate the whatever problem that we have. So with that said, let me play another video real quick. me share this one more time. Okay, this is where I'm at with it. This is exactly where I'm at with it. Let me see here. Um, where should I start? Let's start like this here, right? Okay, so we understand that, a lot of people are still under the impression that China is a bully in all this, right? Like China is coming to bully everybody and jumping in and just making decisions, going, you know what I mean, against everybody, not just the neighboring city or the neighboring territory, Hong Kong, but like really and truly, everybody got in their mind like, yo, China is this big bully that needs to be stopped. Okay, keep that in mind. That's what most people have in their mind, that China is a big bully. But what I'm trying to say is that this is like the Rocky moment. It depends when did you start watching the film, because if you watch the film towards certain parts, when you watch Rocky 4, you would think Rocky Balboa is the bully. You wouldn't think that, it was the Russian boxer, Drago, whatever his name was, the dude that killed Apollo Creed. You wouldn't think that he's the bully that came to trying to bully everybody, killed the trainer, the personal trainer, killed the trainer, killed the master. Then he's going after the student, right? Rocky. So then, depending on at what point you start watching the movie, it may appear like, oh, Rocky is you know what I'm saying, like, is the bully. So this is what I'm saying. For people who think that China is the bully in all this, okay, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. I'm willing to talk, but I'm only expressing where I'm coming from as far as what I see, what I think. So for that, I'm gonna have to start with here. Let's hear what my man here has to say. Let me even go. Let me go here. Let me go. Where am I going? Let me go here.
What they've read in a headline. And a good example of that is, the current uproar going on about the Alaska talks. The Alaska talks, the diplomatic talks that China had with the U.S. I'd like to do something completely separate on that the entire dialogue and break it down blow by blow, because the overarching message I'm seeing from a lot of people is that China just made the U.S. its bitch through diplomatic talks, when in fact what just happened in those diplomatic talks was China just solidified its position as having absolutely no friends and allies in the entire world, has shown the world that it's not willing to work diplomatically with other countries, and then push the rest of the world, particularly the Western world, to align together with a more unilateral approach in dealing with China. So it serves people, I think, a lot of good to maybe look into things before they comment on them. I know that goes with anything, but this is one of those situations.
Listen, I'm not even
Big
trying
man
to bother
politicians
with
running
that.
their mouths.
I'm
Or
not even.
you actually look at what happened within those meetings, you'll understand that China just alienated itself like a 12-year-old. So if you're coming out of that thinking that China just made the U.S. its bitch diplomatically, without understanding what diplomacy actually means, I mean, this is a diplomatic meeting, not a pissing contest, like I said, then you've already fallen victim to like a 12-year-old ideology. Like literally like a 12-year-old going to school and rooting for a bully versus another beating up another kid.
Okay. Now let me try to bring in. I don't know who's in the chat right now, but let me try to bring in somebody so we can perhaps listen to this part again and then talk about it. Cause what my man just said, he said that China is the bully. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that China is the bully, right? My man Sam, you on there, or you sleeping?
Hello?
Hello, are you sleeping?
No, I'm not sleeping, brother. Sorry, I couldn't hear so
Okay,
well.
but
So, hello? Can you hear me, brother?
but were you able to hear what I was playing?
Yeah, I was able to hear it. Yeah, I was able to hear it fine.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Yes, brother.
Okay, what do you think about this? Okay, okay. What do you think about the idea that a lot of people right now they think that China is the bully. The idea that okay, China went to a meeting, and then China decided like I'm not satisfied with whatever is going on, so I'm just gonna head back home. But then a lot of people are criticizing that, saying that oh, China is acting like a bully or even a kid, like a childish type of behavior where instead of listening to everybody, China's just like nah, I'm going home. What do you think about that? I disagree. I'm thinking like China is not the bully, but a lot of people are thinking that China is the bully, and I can show why China is not the bully. But I wanted to hear from you, like so far, like how do you feel about that? Not maybe not personally, but
Mm.
like when you listen to this person here talking about how China is behaving as a child, going to meetings, and deciding like, listen, I had enough. I'm gonna call myself a Uber and I'm going back. How do you feel about that?
Personally, Mupa, I don't really like. I agree with you. I don't think China really is a bully because, to be personally honest, China is a global superpower, and a lot of countries are heavily dependent on it. In terms of a
Yes.
lot of like China is basically one of the only countries in the world that manufacture goods, and because
Yes.
they like only manufacture goods, it makes a lot of countries in the world dependent upon them. So basically, without China, these countries will not be able to have their goods made.
Right, 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 right. No, I agree. I agree that everybody right now is depending on China, and they don't because they don't want to depend on China, and so they feel like okay, China is doing too much, or China is being unjust, or China is not, acting the way that they
That's
would they would want China to behave.
Yeah, that's very true. Because, like, as you can see also with coronavirus, many people are kind of very angry that, China, for instance, like, especially the US was really angry that China did not, like, have any investigations into the origins of the virus, whether it was lab created. And that's kind of angering a lot of people because, China should be more transparent with
Yes.
telling its citizens more about what's happened, and a lot of people are still under the dark because they like obviously I'm not impacted by it, but like
Right.
people who are living in the western countries are definitely impacted because they really want an answer.
Okay. No problem. There's something going on with your mic or your headphones, or like
Yeah,
I
I
can
can
hear
listen
it
to my.
go crazy.
Yeah.
But okay, no problem. What am I trying to say here? I'm gonna play. Well, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in the dictionary again. I always have to repeat this part because for us to try to understand how China is behaving, and also understanding those people that are complaining, maybe there's certain information that they're missing out. So I always want us to look at that point first before we move forward, and then we can say whatever. But as long as we understand that like that one thing exists, do we still have the same opinion afterwards? And then if we do, then it's okay as well. But I always want to make sure that we look in the dictionary and see, because for me it's kind of far fetched for somebody to call China a bully, right? And then this is why. Let me try to share the screen here. Let me go to dictionary real quick, my man. Um, okay, because in the dictionary it says something about what China man's chance is, and then I always think that that's where we need to start any story, whatever story, whatever complaint that we have about China. We need to start it from that point, the point where we are calling China this and that. So let me look for it. Share, stop sharing, and then share again. All right, and then it's okay. I'm gonna try to hear more from other youth. I don't know if they go to school or not, like, but other youth. I don't want to hear nothing about from adults, because adults have too many problems, too much stress, and then so to hear from from sober minds, from youths. Let me hear. Let me see here real quick again. Let me go on Google. I'm gonna read this, Sam, and then after that, if I'm also gonna bring the youths in so they can chime in and say whatever they have to say. But we must try to read this, and so that our conversation is guided by factual stuff here. Let me see. China man's chance once again. China man's chance. China man's chance. Did you mean this? Yes, I did. Okay, here. Can you see what I'm seeing, my brother? Sam, can you see what I'm seeing? Or you're not there no more?
Hello? Yes, I can
Yeah,
see what you're
yeah.
saying, brother.
You can. Okay, you can see exactly what I'm seeing, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read it out. It reads and it says, "China man's chance is an American idiom first attested in 1903, meaning little or no chance at all, possibly as a reference to historical anti-Asian racism in the United States." So from once we understand, once we read this, and this is still in the dictionary today, and we're able to Google it and find out that in 1903, there is such a word or a phrase against Asians, mainly Chinese, saying that they had no chance at all. Like we counted these motherfuckers out. Like you don't have chances. You don't have no chance at all. Like you know what I'm saying, to do anything, right? And then now they're in the position that they at, and then there's other people calling them a bully. See, this is where I'm not understanding. So I wanted to hear more from you and from others. Like, how do we go from here? Like, how do we see China if I'm bullying you or you bullying me, and one day I'm just I retreat myself because the person on there on online talked about China alienating itself from the meeting. Like China had enough, called the Uber and went home. I don't want to hear no more, right? But to me, it's because those people are missing the information that China was bullied already. You went on in 1903. You went in the dictionary. You wrote China man's chance means they have no chance at all. They're not qualified for the race. Whatever you're doing, they're not qualified for that. They have no chance. And then, hold and behold, they subsist and thrive to the point where to the point where you're looking at them, they're ahead of everybody, but yeah, you calling them the bully. Like we calling them the bully, or this person is saying, "Oh, China is acting like a kid because they don't want to talk with everybody. They don't want to go along to get along with everybody. They don't want to just sit there and listen to everybody and do what others want. When at first they already eliminated the possibility of them, even coming to such a position. Again, what do you think about that, my brother? And I'm gonna try to bring other people in to try to understand what they have to say. Go ahead, I'm listening. Are you still there? My man, are you still there?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, man.
Yeah,
Mute
I'm
your
there.
mic.
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Go on, talk.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. I can't. What do you want me to say? Sorry.
I don't want you to say anything. Uh, I don't want you to say nothing in particular. What I'm trying to say is that there's people, other people's sentiment is that China is the superpower to the point where it's becoming a bully, right? And
Yeah.
so China must be stopped at all costs.
Yeah.
So my thing is that the behavior. Some people even say like,
Mm.
"Oh, I love China, I love the people, but I just don't like. I just want China to behave differently, right? As if they have a
Yeah.
say on how China should behave." So my thing is, if China is in the position that China is, and other people are seeing that, oh, China is a bully, China is bullying everybody, right? I can understand that, but all I'm trying to say is that, okay, for us to have an intelligent conversation about what China is doing to really, bring the problem to the table and then trying to bring solution to it, we also have to look at all angles of the problem, right? And when we look at all angles, we see that, in 1903,
Okay, wait.
are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry.
I'm saying that in 1903, I mean, I don't mind if people don't like China. I don't mind if people don't like whatever they don't like about China, right? There's many things that I don't like about China. There's many things that I don't like about Hong Kong. There's many things I don't like
Yeah,
about my own country. There's many things I don't like about America. There's things I don't like about, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could always pick and choose things that we
yeah,
like and dislike. I don't eat frog. So when you bring me to China, you're jumping up and down and you're like, oh,
yeah,
frogs. Bro, you miss me with that. I
yeah,
don't eat pork. I don't care who you are. So if you bring me to
yeah,
a 6-star, 7-star restaurant, you could be the president of whatever. If you're gonna serve me the best meal and the best meal you're talking about is has pork in it, you're gonna miss me with that.
yeah, yeah.
That's just how I am. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to you. There are many things
Yeah,
that I
of course,
dislike.
brother.
Yeah. So with that said, if people are looking at China as being the bully, and then I'm pointing out that in 1903 there was this phrase created already against China. So now man, we're in 2021, and then China
Yeah,
is in the position where it's leading the race. So are we still then?
yeah.
Are we still
Mupa,
then? You
maybe
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
we should maybe add Roshan, Ken, and they
No,
want to also
listen,
join.
we're not. I'm asking you, what do you think? I'm not adding anybody. I'm not adding just anybody because no, this is not the type of party. I'm trying to lead so that we get answers as we go along. I will add anybody that I want to add as I'm going
Yeah,
along.
yeah.
I'm asking
I
you,
understand.
if you don't have an answer, that's fine. I'm gonna play more
I think
videos. I'm
my
gonna
I
add
need
more
to think
videos.
what I'm gonna say, but maybe you can add those for. I want to just kind of think what
Listen,
I'm gonna.
I'm trying to say, like, if you don't have an answer, that's fine. I don't need to add anybody else. Like, really and truly, to be honest with you, because
I could
what
give
I'm
my general comments on China. I mean, as a country, like adding on to what you said, you mentioned you were not happy with some things in China. You're not mentioned with like you're not happy with some things in Hong Kong. You're not happy with some things in your country, but like even I personally think like we just sometimes got to put a blind eye into seeing the faults in a country. In the end of the day, even if you say China definitely as a country has its faults. China is a communist country. The way how they're governed is completely different to the Western model. So, like, personally, I like the Western model because, you get more freedom, everyone has a voice. But of course, in a way, people in China would say the communist model has worked very well for the country because. Because of the communist model, you can see that the citizens are very lawful, and they follow the rules very well. So
yes,
it everything has its pros and cons. So like for instance in Hong Kong, many would argue because Hong Kong's model was like it was very in the middle. We follow this. We kind of so we in Hong Kong it's kind of gray the model we follow in the sense that we don't really follow any sort of model because to be honest our democracy is sort of limited now with national security, but also in the
yeah,
past we did have quite a lot of democracy, compared to what compared to other Chinese cities. We have access to the internet and stuff like that. But you know, a lot of people might say communist model is not good. But then I personally think, like, if I'm not Chinese myself, but then I personally know people in China would say it's worked very well for the country. It's brought China to the place where it is, being one of the global superpowers and being economically one of the richest nations in the world.
okay, perfect. Okay, no, I got you. But can we listen to this man one more time? Like, let's take like 30 seconds to listen to him. I'm just gonna let the video play, and then we'll stop it, and then try to see if
Okay.
everything these people, because it pains me how somebody could be living somewhere, right? Like, and then you go to a country, and then you get married there, and then all of a sudden you leave that country because I don't know what had happened there, but but you leave the country and then you're speaking against those people, but yet you are married to one of them, and you have, you know what I'm saying, like maybe you have children with one of them, and you're speaking against those people, but yet, and the solution for you to stop, like say China from growing is basically not to buy anything from China. But I'm pretty sure that same person buys, gets involved with prostitution, buys pussy, like from Chinese pussy, to be blunt, right? But so how much is it that let's not buy certain things from China, or let's not buy anything from China? Because if you went there, you bought a wife there. You bought the wife, and then you had kids with the wife. You brought the wife to America. So are you gonna send the wife back? Is in that type of situation, what would you do?
Like what would I do? Personally, what I would do is it really depends, on the situation. But I mean, I'm not really actually sure.
Let me bring it. Yeah, let me bring in Park. Let me play something here. It's just because I'm
Cause
here thinking out loud. Like, how can somebody then?
yeah,
Because I still don't understand why people a lot of people are talking, so harshly about China, and then they have YouTube videos where they
yeah,
sit, and then they'll have this long conversations about China and how bad China is. Regardless if they went there, they lived there 10 years or however long they lived there, and then decided like, listen, I had enough of China.
mm,
I'm heading back home. But then the views of China is so negative to the point where, okay, I'm like, okay, let me listen, because that might help me if I'm going to a place. Let me listen to the negative side. Let me not just be hyped about what's good about that place, but let me listen to the negative side. But then again, even the negative side, I have to do a research on the negative side. But now when I'm doing the research about China, because everything people are saying about China, how China is bad, when I look back in the dictionary, I'm seeing that in 1903 they said, oh, China had no chance. But now China has chance. So why are we complaining? This is where I'm at. So you tell me. Let me bring in maybe let me play a video, and then
yeah. Bring in Ken and
yeah,
Parker
we'll
because
bring.
I'm
Yeah, I don't know
very
if I'm gonna.
enthusiastic.
I don't know if I'm gonna bring Ken or anybody else, man. Cause some people have different agendas. They wanna come here and just start yelling.
I,
One second. Yeah, one
I'm for
second.
sure.
One second. Yeah, one second. One second. Share.
I know Parker's like he has a very enthusiastic stance.
Let me share this here. Let me share. What am I sharing? Okay, let's play some more of this man here. Cause he posed a question. He say, should we should we be worried about China? This is where we at with it.
It doesn't make any sense. You have to look at policy in the way that the world is coming together versus an alienation policy that China is promoting right now. And the people that you saw sent to that meeting that are running their mouths and making all these like jabby statements and stuff, you might think that that's like high energy alpha shit. But you know what that was weak man shit, because what they're doing is just running their mouth to impress Big Daddy back home, because Xi Jinping can't be wrong about his new let's go punch him in the face and punch him in the stomach. We're not silent anymore bullshit. Hypocritical rhetoric that's basically destroying China's reputation abroad in every country around the world. The only reason that they were running their mouth at those talks was because they're impressing Xi Jinping, who does have the intellectual level of about a 10-year-old in terms of diplomacy. So anyway, what I wanted to bring up was I'm not shilling for the U.S. and I'm not going to apologize for America's many problems here. That being said, there are plenty of voices out there that do, talk about America's deficiencies and what we can do with them. It's called everyone. It's literally the conversation of everyone in America. I think those voices are well saturated, and you can come up with your own opinion about that. However, the voice surrounding China is very, very lacking, Because whenever someone has an opinion about China, it's either that China is amazing and it believes all the bullshit propaganda and sucks it down like chocolate milk, or it's the other opinion that, oh, China is like a backwards backwater country that will never achieve anything because they're so poor, because they have outdated thinking on that. Let me provide a little nuance for you here. I read an article the other day which was fascinating, absolutely fascinating, and I thought was almost spot on, which is something I can rarely say about articles regarding China. Slave populace out of their entire country. Those things obviously are very hard to recognize.
Can y'all hear me? Yes or no? Say something.
A tight-knit group of very, very scary, corrupt people to a even tighter-knit group of scary people where all opposition has left the table. There's no more opposition.
I'm trying to play something here. I'm really trying to play something here. Where am I? Where am I?
Abroad and domestically. Get away with it because the average passing person with passing interest in China will take that at face value. Meanwhile, criticize their own country, in this case the US, by saying, oh, we haven't eliminated poverty. Oh, we have this problem that China doesn't have. Because at face value, that's the nature of the beast. That's just how it works. I've advocated. I want the Chinese government to behave better on alarmist policies. And alarmist policies are not what I've ever advocated for American policy towards China. Alarmist policies lie in the fact that you think that China is this massive beast across the pond that is going to overtake everything in the entire world if we're not careful. And the alarmist policies are rash thinking. They're things that cut China off from everything. And that's never what I've advocated. I want the Chinese government to behave better on a world stage, and I want them to stop acting like children so that actually we can come to some agreements and conclusions, and they stop doing things like, genocides and human atrocities and creating a slave populace out of their entire country. Those things obviously are very hard to rectify under the current leadership. But I'd like to cover some things that might sober you up about what China's current situation might be. So first, what you have to understand is that China offers the easy path to success. Not real success, perceived success. And that relies on it relies on people's ability to absorb lies, right? China ultimately wants its authoritarian Leninist system to be if a country becomes authoritarian and Leninist like them, because the whole nature, what you have to understand is that the global overtaking nature of the Chinese government is actually just for self-preservation. So,
okay, I want to stop there. Sam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mopa.
Okay. Let me see. Is Rashan there? Let me go to Rashan. Rashan. Okay, Rashan.
Party, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Rashan
We're working on this, and we just got back from the reporting that unfortunately the shipment was lost.
What?
Okay.
Then somebody stole it.
Okay, what do you do in this case?
Well, it seems like the shipper and the purchaser did not got any insurance on the shipment.
So you basically say that I lost my new Note 5 and you can do nothing about it?
Where is this coming from?
Yes, but we can send you another telephone, but we need to just confirm your payment information and charge you one.
So Rashan, just remove this guy. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me start removing people, man. I don't even know where that came from. Sam, are you there? Unmute the mic. Okay. Okay. How about Parker? Parker, are you there? Okay. Let me remove this person here.
Yes, I'm here.
So who's that talking now? Is Parker not talking?
This is Parker, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to know like what are your thoughts on the fact that a lot of people are considering China as a bully, and how does that impact like the youth as a general thing, because we are here in Asia, and then I know somehow everybody's impacted by the changes that's going on through the world, but the fact that we pointing fingers at China, saying that China is the bully, right? And knowing that we already counted China out at one point, so you may have a different perspective on how to see China, or you may not like certain things. But go ahead. I want to hear from you. Like, how do you see it? Because again, people are pointing fingers to China, saying that China is the bully. I'm saying no, China cannot be the bully because it has been bullied already. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right. I don't get it, my man. Okay, where's Sam? Let me add Sam. Sam, you on there? Okay, Sam. Okay, Sam, you chose to mute yourself. Okay, cool. All right, let me keep going with this here. Basically, what I'm trying to say here, hey, it's gonna be difficult to get people to come and talk to have this conversation, but hey, that's how it's going to be. Um, but that's how it's going to be. So
Hello.
people don't want to talk. People don't want to have this conversation. Um, Sam is not there no more, so I'm going to remove who's Gordon. Gonna remove that person. Remove Sam. And yeah, so basically that's what it is for me. Is this whole idea that China is a bully. I don't quite get it. If in 1903, they coined a phrase saying that China had no chance, and later on, China gets in a position where everybody's looking at China like, oh no, you're not going along and getting along with us, and you just want to do your own thing. And just like all my men mentioned in this video, that China doesn't really care what you are doing with your country. He doesn't really care what policies you want to put in place in your country. He just wants to make sure that the policies that he's running with in China, it's what led them to become in the position that they had. Because otherwise, remember, they had no chance, right? It's only once China start formulating and unifying and coming up with new mechanism on how to do it, it came out of whatever situation that they were in. And then now you're looking at China like, oh, now China is bullying people. So that's where I'm at with that. I wish people could talk about this topic, but hey, it's kind of hard. But my man here says he wants to contribute to the conversation, or you want to play music. You want to come online and play some music, or you actually have something to say. If not, then you know, let's bring in Ken then. Okay, let's hear what kind of music Ken is gonna play.
Oh, hi,
Ken, you're
hi,
on. Yeah,
hi,
what do you
Lupa.
think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah, yes.
so
What do
much.
you think? Yeah, what do you think about this so situation when the
Actually, I
question that
did
had been posed?
actually really want to go speak about this. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, the only reason actually why, I mean, like, as what you were saying last time, is that a lot of things like are being actually made in China, and the reason for that is actually quite simple. Is because number one, labor cost is really really low, and number two, taxes are ridiculously low. This is called a capitalist system. We can keep labor cost and taxes low to make policies good for the rich, and then create a larger wealth gap because the poor are not helped in terms of benefits and anything like that, which is okay, but um personally, I'm more of a socialist person. So
Okay. Yeah. Again, let me. I want to keep playing this video so we get the whole idea where we're coming, because my man here on YouTube is spreading this message that everybody should be afraid of China. China is the bully and things of that nature. And over and again, I've been showing that in the dictionary it says there's this phrase China man's chance, which means China has no chance. But then that was in 1903. So later on, when it comes to 2021, and you see that China is ahead of the game, it's ahead of everybody. I still don't understand why there's still people today complaining that China is in the position that China is. But let's go ahead and try to define who are the competition of China. Can anybody answer that? Like, who's in competition with China? Because I want to understand if it's a race for everybody or it's a race of countries. Is it a race of, is China, are we talking about just the people or the country? Are we talking about the landscape of China, or are we talking about the environment, including the people inside, or are we talking about how the whole place is governed? Can somebody answer that for me, please?
wait, actually, guys, can you add
Again, I'm not adding
Takishki,
anybody. I'm not adding anybody.
because
I'm not
Matani
adding
really wants
anyone.
to go speak.
But I'm not adding anyone. I'm not adding anyone. Because everybody got their own personal agenda where they want to add somebody, and then we're not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. What I'm talking about is basically the fact that there are people still believing that China is the bad apple. China is the bully. But I'm trying to understand. Okay, if China is the bully, okay, I'm willing to agree, but I have a question. And my question is that how can you be the bully if people are already counting you out? If people are already counting you out, then how can you be the bully? So let me go ahead and play some more of this of this video and see where we can take it from here.
Is and how what we can do with them. It's called everyone. It's literally the conversation of everyone in America. So I think those voices are well saturated. What that was weak man shit. All the bullshit propaganda is and how destroying China's reputation abroad in every country around the world. The only reason that they were running their mouth at those talks to that meeting that are running their mouths and making all these like jabby statements and stuff. You might think that that's like high energy alpha shit, but you know what that was weak man shit, because what they're doing is just running their mouth to impress Big Daddy back home, because Xi Jinping can't be wrong about his new let's go punch him in the face and punch him in the stomach. We're not silent anymore bullshit. Hypocritical rhetoric that's basically destroying China's reputation abroad in every country around the world. The only reason that they were running their mouth at those talks was because they're impressing Xi Jinping, who does have the intellectual level of about a 10-year-old in terms of diplomacy. So anyway, what I wanted to bring up was I'm not shilling for the U.S. and I'm not going to apologize for America's many problems here. That being said, there are plenty of voices out there that do talk about America's deficiencies and what we can do with them. It's called everyone. What I wanted to bring up was I'm not shilling for the U.S. and I'm not going to apologize for America's many problems. What I wanted to bring up was I'm not shilling for the U.S. and I'm not going to apologize for America. The only reason that they were running their mouth at those talks was because China is like.
Okay. So basically, what's going on here? Nobody wants to apologize. Well, my thing is, doesn't China deserve an apology? This is the question that I have. If anybody can answer that, doesn't China deserve an apology, right? When I'm saying that China deserves an apology, I mean if you already counted the people out in 1903. I don't know what happened prior to 1903, but the information that I gathered starts from 1903. It's in the dictionary. It says that there's a phrase, China man's chance, having little to no chance at all. So if you have already, counted people out, and then somehow they retreat, they go over there, formulate a plan, have new formation, strategized, and then come back on top of everybody and leading the race. And now we're looking at the person and saying that he's a bully. So that to me, it means that there's an information missing. There's something missing in the link. Again, I give the example of Rocky Balboa, Rocky 4, him going against the Russian fighter. The Russian fighter had killed Rocky's trainer. But if you didn't see all that, at one point you may think Rocky Balboa is the bully. Because at one point, the Russian fighter start acting like he's the victim. So if you just walk in, what I'm saying, wherever you watch the movie, you walk in, and the movie was on, and you saw certain parts of it, you may think that Rocky is the bully. So this is what's going on with this whole China thing. It's like when we start getting the information and people talking ill against China, it feels like, oh, China is really the bully, right? That's how it feels like. But when you go in the dictionary, you see that, oh, I get it. They nobody planned for these people to even win. They're not qualified to win. You have a phrase. So are we going to erase that phrase off the dictionary? Are we going to apologize to China? What are we going to do before we even continue this conversation? Or are we just going to criticize China at all time? You know? Somebody deserves capital punishment. Who does? I'm curious about that. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's hear my man again, because I'm really puzzled about how he's coming with these ideas. I'm really puzzled. Because if you go here, my man is saying China is buying dictators from Africa. Why is he using Africa as an example? And I want to know.
Where China was basically saying that if we America and in some places in Europe, it doesn't necessarily care if a country becomes authoritarian and Leninist like them. What you have to understand is that China offers the easy path to success, not real success, perceived success. And that relies on China's, it relies on people's ability to absorb lies, right? China ultimately wants its authoritarian Leninist system to be respected around the world. China doesn't necessarily care if a country becomes authoritarian and Leninist like them, because the whole nature, what you have to understand is that the global overtaking nature of the Chinese government is actually just for self-preservation. So China has global ambitions. I keep talking about these global ambitions through the Belt and Road Initiative, through its buying of dictators in different countries, particularly in Africa and places like South America and in some places in Europe. So China has global ambitions. I keep talking about these global ambitions through the Belt and Road Initiative, through its buying of dictators in different countries, particularly Belt and Road Initiative.
Okay, can somebody tell me which one of the dictators in Africa that China has bought? Can somebody tell me that? Like, I want to know. I want to be educated.
So sorry, what
I don't know
Muba?
what's
Can you?
going on.
Hi, Muba. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Sorry,
You're
can you
speaking low.
repeat
You're
that?
speaking like you being grounded or something.
No, no,
That's how you
sorry.
speak. You're speaking very far, like you're hiding from your parents, and you can't really speak on certain topics. But I understand that it's some people may consider consider these type of topics like being sensitive, but the question is, so my man posed a situation where he says that China is buying dictators in Africa, but I'm still puzzled because I don't have that information where China is buying dictators, and how many dictators are there in Africa, and then who has been bought by China? Can you answer that, or you don't have an answer for that?
I'm not like, to be personally honest. To be hello. To, to be personally honest.
Yeah, I cannot hear you. I'm gonna have to to let you go because you're speaking very low and I can't hear you.
Okay, wait. Let me try to find a place that I can speak louder. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah, I
Is
can't
it
hear you
better?
good.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I was saying is I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know whether China is buying, African dictators or things like that. But what I can tell you is, how in countries such as I think China and some African current countries right now, they're kind of giving China's giving tide aid to some African countries. So what they're trying to do with this tide aid is basically China's trying to it's kind of smart what China is doing, so they're trying to utilize their resources in African countries. So like they're basically getting their workers, getting their resources to build new initiatives in countries such as Uganda, because they know that it can help, it can positively impact China, because they're going to create a lot of jobs, and then they're going to be able to earn a lot of money from it. But what the African countries, they don't know that is, despite the country being able to receive that project, but like, to be honest, China's actually benefiting a lot by helping these low income African countries.
Okay, so how is China benefited from it? Is it like a bad, like is a deal a bad deal? Because a lot of people are saying that China will go to Africa, um, come in and very helpful,
I
building
think,
infrastructures, and in return taking land. That's what people are saying. But I'm
yeah,
again, I'm there thinking like maybe that's not how things are, because there's nobody like really going to Africa like that these days and just taking up land. Like maybe the land is for sale and China is able to sell the
yeah,
land, but
that's true.
you know maybe China is sitting at the table saying, listen, we're going to build this and build that. But the land, if then they take up the land, it's because the land is for sale. First of all, just like
Yeah,
America is for sale, Canada is for sale, Chinese people can go to America and buy land. There's nothing that's stopping from China going to America and buying land, right? If the land is for
yeah,
sale, then anybody
yeah,
can buy it. But maybe the
correct,
strategies that China is using is maybe, okay, let's build something here, and then
correct. Yeah,
but the land is for sale. It's not like
yeah,
China is going there, they will build
basically,
a bridge, and then you can't pay for the bridge, and then okay, well, because you can't pay for the bridge, we're taking up the land. If the
correct.
land is not for sale, China cannot take it.
Yeah, correct. Basically,
But
yeah.
what do you think though? I'm not
To be honest with you,
go ahead.
what I was seeing from the YouTube comments, to be honest, I think China is trying, in a way, trying to take advantage of Africa, because I mean, I'm not sure if you see it, but like African countries, because they because African countries, like quite a few of them are currently dead, like because you kind of know African countries are very rich in natural resources, and because these African countries have a lot of natural resources, and China knows that they can kind of do some playing around with them by getting these trade agreements to kind of get these natural resources at a very low cost. And what China is trying to do is they're trying to get these natural resources, bring them into China, and use these natural resources to bring in new initiatives, and kind of make the country powerful from that.
Okay, I understand. But let me go back here and play this one segment
And I
for you.
think Tachika
One
wants to
second,
talk.
hold up. I don't mind who wants to talk. talk. Like that's not my agenda right now. To be honest, to be honest, I'm trying to make this short. I'm not trying to make this a long conversation, but I wanted to play this part here, and then so we can kind of wrap up on that. Let me see what this conversation is about. Okay, all right. Let me play this here. Let me play it from here.
World stage, and I want them to stop acting like children. Alarmist policies. And alarmist policies are not what I've ever advocated for American policy towards China. Alarmist policies lie in the fact that you think that China is this massive beast across the pond that is going to overtake everything in the entire world if we're not careful. And the alarmist policies are rash thinking. They're things that cut China off from everything. And that's never what I've advocated. I want the Chinese government to behave better on a world stage, and I want them to stop acting like children, so that actually we can come to some agreements and conclusions, and they stop doing things like genocides and human atrocities and creating a slave populace out of their entire country.
Okay, this is where again, we can talk till tomorrow about this part here. So my man here says, okay, every now and then you can kind of listen to his speech. Yeah, it's always like, okay, I don't hate China. My wife is Chinese, my kid is Chinese. I lived in China 10 years. We get that part, right? But the overall message is that China is bad. China is a bully, and then the man goes as far as saying, "Oh, I want China to behave nicely, not to be a bully, so we can sit and have a conversation as if anybody asked him something, right?" But then again, everybody's entitled to an opinion, so that's what he would like China to do, to behave, quote unquote, better. But my thing is, why would we now ask China to behave better today when, again, I'm going to have to bring you back to the history. In 1903, we said, China, you have no chance to do anything. So why is it that now we want China to behave better? Was there ever a time where China behaved better or not? Can somebody answer that for me, please? I want to know.
I think
Let me see.
can Shaki want to talk?
No, I can't bring these people in because I think there's somewhere where there's music playing, and that's just disturbing my whole.
I think there's no music for Shaki.
Yeah,
He said.
yeah. Let me hear what
I've not. Ken, I know
Yes.
is Ken.
Hello, my man. It's on you. You got the floor. Talk. Speak.
Talk. Who talk? Is that Talk Shaki?
It's mute. It's mute. Yeah.
Who's that? Talk Shaki.
It's mute. Yeah. See, he's on mute. He's on mute. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Talk Shaki and unmute your mic.
Yeah. Unmute your mic.
What is it?
Can you unmute your mic?
Unmute. Maybe he's having connection
Okay. Listen,
difficulties.
man. I'm gonna have to remove these people. I'm wasting time. So basically, this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to say again. This conversation is in a loop, right? Because it's gonna be difficult for us to bring in,
Yes.
new information to the table when there's still discrepancies in the information that we already got. I understand that people can look at China saying China is a bully, but don't you know in 1903 that we counted China out? So once we know that we counted China out in 1903, then we can add on to that. Say, oh yeah, we did that then, and then after that we did this, ABC, and that, and then now all of a sudden China betrayed us, and then that's what China is doing now. But is that the case, or is it a situation where you in the schoolyard, you don't want to play with China, and then you like, listen, we don't want to mess around with you, and then China goes and does its own thing. China is not bothering nobody. China is not bothering nobody, and then all of a sudden, as China's not bothering anybody, and now all of a sudden we want China to come and play with us. China comes, listens to what we have to say, and China alienate itself. Like, I don't want to mess around with you guys. But we still look at China like, oh, he's acting like a kid, he's acting childish, he should come. But that's the same person that in the dictionary that we said that, China man's chance means no chance at all. At all. So should we be mad at China today if China doesn't want to play? If China doesn't want to go along, get along. Should we be mad because China doesn't want to go along, get along? What do you think, my brother? If you don't have anything to say, then it's okay as well. What I'm gonna do right now, basically, again, I'm gonna play the Malcolm X speech one more time because I'm speaking on behalf of Black people. Because the type of information that I gathered, I cannot bring it forth because if I did, it would be useless, to the Black mind without actually understanding where we're aiming at. Once we know where we're aiming at, then we can aim properly and then hit the target. Otherwise, we just in the water, in the wave, and not know where we're going. There's no anchor. We're not anchored. You know, the boat is just going with the wave. Wherever it lands, it lands. So we being controlled by whatever information that we hear. So with that said, my thing is, if China is in the position that China is, and everybody's looking at that position and say, "Oh no, China doesn't deserve to be in that position," well, that's okay to have that opinion. But then, did that person, whoever made that made that comment, did that person take time to look at the fact that in 1903 in the dictionary there's a phrase or a word saying China man's chance means no chance at all, meaning we count these people out. They have no chance at all to amount to nothing. That's like the teacher tells you you're never going to amount to nothing, then you turn around and you do better than most. And then the teachers and everybody else is looking at you like, nah, you don't belong there. You don't deserve that position. So that's how I feel about this whole situation with China. It doesn't matter. We can go deep, but I want us to address that issue of 1903. You coin a phrase, and then now you're complaining, and you playing the victim role by saying that China is the bully. When you bullied the Chinese people, you bullied them in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary. This is factual. It's in the dictionary. This is not something that I'm saying because I feel that way. Because really and truly, I can tell you that there's a whole heap of things that I don't agree with. There's a lot of things that I hate. But at the same time, when I just look at the situation where China is ahead, everybody's complaining. Not everybody, but there's some people complaining. I have to ask and I have to pose a question like, okay, are we then forgetting that we counted these people out? Again, can somebody answer that? My man said I'm not Reggie S don't say I'm not speaking for blacks. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's how you feel. But what I'm trying to say is that my skin color can't change it. So I'm speaking for blacks, or I'm speaking for the individual being a black man. I'm speaking as a black man because as a black man, Reggie, it will be impossible for black people to hate Chinese. Really and truly, if we go by what Malcolm X said, let me play it one more time, just in case you didn't catch on to that. Let me play it one more time, Reggie. Let me just play this one more time. Because Reggie said, I can't be speaking for all black people. I'm not. And you're right. You're right. You're actually right, my man. You're actually right. I couldn't speak for all black people. because we shouldn't choose somebody like me to speak for the whole black people, and that's what we've been doing. We've been letting people that's not in position to speak for the whole of the black community, the black people, and speak for us. And then yes, I definitely digress and apologize. Um, yeah, I am speaking for myself, Reggie. I apologize. I'm speaking for myself as a black man. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right on that. But let me go ahead here and play. What am I trying to play? Let's move. Let me move this brother here. Let me move this brother here and play something else. Let me move this brother here and play something else. Play Malcolm X. Play the Malcolm X again. In case we didn't get it right. Let's get it right this time.
The Organization of Afro-American Unity sees the only hope for the black man in America in a strong Africa, and the necessity of the Afro-American becoming inseparably linked with the overall program that's existing on the African continent. The two problems must be solved together, and the two forces must go forward together. And so the Organization of Afro-American Unity has a program to link the Afro-Americans with the Africans and the Africans with the Afro-Americans. When I say Afro-Americans, I mean those throughout the entire Western Hemisphere. This is our only hope. Our hope is in a strong Africa. And when Africa is strong, our position in America will be one of respect. But if Africa is weak, we will never be in a position of respect in America. They used to have a saying that one doesn't have a Chinaman's chance. But they don't say that anymore. They used that expression back when China was weak. But now since Mao Zedong has been successful in making China a strong country, the Chinese have more chance than anybody else. So this saying has become outdated. Well, just as it took a strong China to give a Chinese person respect wherever that Chinese person is found on this earth, when we get a strong Africa, the person of African origin or African ancestry will be respected any place on this earth, even in America. But he will not be respected in America until Africa is strong, just as the Chinaman wasn't respected abroad until China became strong.
Okay, I was saying basically, I was saying that whenever I'm coming to have this type of conversation, I like playing that one clip because that one clip shows which angle I'm coming from. So if you can look at it from that angle, okay, that's the angle that I chose to come from because I could, it's a web. You can choose any angle that you want to come, but we all gonna wind up in the middle. So I'm choosing that angle to come and maybe point at certain things that you might have missed. That's all I'm doing. And of course, I can't speak for the entire black population, but at the same time, being a black man, I'm speaking from a point of view of a black man. So that's why I'm having problem trying to understand as a black man how is this whole China being in the position that China is, how is that bad for black men, black people? How is that bad? That's one thing, and then second thing, the second leg of that is that why are we then saying that China is a bully if we bully China already? Like it's in the dictionary. This is something that you can look up. You can just type it in and look it up and know that we counted these people out. So if you don't see the triumphant story in it, then that means you're already programmed and you have an agenda that's already biased and against the people. If you're not able to come out of your shell and sit back and look at it, okay, why is these people behaving like that? Okay, and they can behave like that because of the position that they hold. But why are they behaving like that? Why are they not just know sitting down and debating or having conversation with the rest of the the global entities that's there? But they want to alienate themselves because you already alienated them before. In 1903, you already told them like, listen, we're not even playing with you. You already put them apart. You already, what I'm saying, like you already drew the line, right? So you like, okay, we're not playing with you, but now that you're in the position that you at, or not, come play with us. We don't like how you're behaving. But in 1903, from 1903 when you said that, they already went and did their own thing. Now we are complaining because they're able to ship anything less than $1, but free of cost. How are they able to do that? Right? We should not ask. We should ask how are they able to do that? Right? So, what Malcolm X, again, I'm going back to Malcolm X. What Malcolm X saying as a black, as for blacks, is that we gotta look at that. We definitely gotta look at that. How they managed to go from being the people of no chance to the people that they are today as a whole. I'm not talking about separating Hong Kong and China and this. I'm just talking about the Chinese people. Like wherever you are right now in the world, look around how strong the Chinese community is. And you don't even know if they're from Hong Kong or China or mainland China. You just know that these are Chinese people. But look how strong they are. Have you ever seen the Indian communities around you? Have you ever seen a bum, like somebody begging money and he's brown, like a Sikh or from the Sindhi community? Have you ever seen one? Have you seen two of them in a row? Right? So you gotta ask yourself these type of questions. Like when you look around you in the community, wherever you are, right? Like have you seen bums that look like a Sikh? With the turban on their head, and this guy would be a bum begging you money. Don't you see how strong the Chinese community is? Why is that? Because they applied a different method than everybody else was trying to tell them to do, and plus they counted China out already. It's in the dictionary. You can Google it. China man's chance. Read from there before you judge. You gotta start from there. Anytime you have somebody criticize China, you can listen to it because you can tell me a lot of things about China, and I'll be like, yeah, it's true. I hate that. Again, as I said earlier, I don't care who you are. If you could be the richest person in the world, if you invite me somewhere and you serve me pork, I will not eat it. And probably our friendship will be over then because you're gonna try to ask me, oh, just have a little bit. I'm gonna say no, I'm not having none, and I'll just leave, alienate myself just like China did at that conference, Alaska meeting or whatever they had over there, right? So with that said, I'm not gonna speak to death. My whole point is, should we be afraid of China? But why are we even asking that question when China was never a threat? From 1903, you said China has no chance. It's in the dictionary. I'm repeating myself. It's in the dictionary. We can go on Google, type in China man's chance. We can read that it's an American idiom, coined in 1903 in reference to the anti-Asian racism in America. So, but now it's all about, oh no, America. Everybody hates America. No, everybody doesn't. They don't hate America. As a matter of fact, in Chinese, in their language, the word America in Putonghua. See, I'm acting like I know how to speak Chinese, but in Chinese, in Mandarin, the word America, it's Mego, like beautiful country. So you tell me who hates America? In their own language, it's Mego. Mego means beautiful country, right? And then if you go to the continent of Africa, you know what continent of Africa in Chinese is? It's some type of thing like Fejo, which means poor country. So they're looking at Africa like being poor, but they're looking at America as being beautiful. So America shouldn't complain that the Chinese are bullying them. No, America bullied China from 1903. It's in the dictionary. You go and look it up, right? So I want everybody to look. I don't know. Again, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but if you're in Canada, in America somewhere, you look around the communities and see and look at the brown communities. I apologize if I say brown, but the brown communities like the Sikhs and the Sindhi communities and all these type of communities from India, and tell me how many bums do you see outside begging for money outside of an MTR station? We say MTR stations now, but the subway, outside of the subway. How many Indians with a turban on their head, they outside asking you for money? I'll wait. I'll wait for that, right? So when my man says I'm not speaking for the black community or for the black people, I get that because I'm in agreement with that. I shouldn't speak for the whole entire black people. But I'm speaking as a black man myself that I'm pointing that for us to come out of the situation that a lot of us are in, we have to listen to what Malcolm X said. And as he pointed that there's a word in the dictionary called Chinaman's chance, but that word is outdated today. Because if you told me that I have a Chinaman's chance today, it means I have great chance. But back then, it meant you had no chance at all. Again, whenever we are talking about China, how bad China is, and how they don't want to deal with everybody else, you gotta look in the dictionary. They counted China out. That's my take on that, and I'm now moving from that until somebody explains something else that I don't know. But as long as that information is there, China is not getting along with nobody, right? Because China doesn't just go along to get along. You already counted them out. They went and did their own thing. Why now you want them to join you? For what reason? Oh, because they're ahead of everybody. So you want them to slow down so they can run like you. Nope, I don't agree. And as a black man, I should not think like I should not listen to anybody that's criticizing China because China is ahead. That doesn't make any sense to me. But if it makes sense to you, again, we can have this conversation at all time. Sam, what's going on, man? You still up? You still up,
Yeah,
Sam?
yeah, I'm still there. I'm listening. Yeah, because my
Do you
audio
do
is
you have
just.
anything? You have anything to say in closing? Because I want to listen from the youth. And me, I look at it like we have to learn so much more from the younger ones. And you being in the situation or in the position where you see things, you've been seeing things, you hear in Asia, you may have different ideas or different opinions about a lot of things, but coming from a young adult or a teenager, it's much better than coming from an adult because the adults now they're so confused that they started the story right in the middle. They're not starting from the beginning. They're just starting it from where they are, and now it seems like everybody's charged against China. Everybody's charged against China, but nobody's reading back when we all forgotten about China. But what do
Yeah.
you have to say, my brother? What do you have to say? Talk to me.
I think, like you mentioned, like you said, what really hit me was when you said the word "make wall," because in China, actually, "may" means like delicious or like very good, and the "guo" is referring to a country. So China
Yeah.
looks at America being this very prosperous nation, this nation where how they say America is like the dream place, for dreamers to get
Yes.
the ideal. How like how America is just represented in the media. as a place, where your dreams can come true and stuff like that. So China literally idolizes America. So, like, for instance, Chinese students in China, they literally apply to all American universities because Chinese parents, those parents are not gonna educate their children in the local system in China because they know that it's not gonna broaden their horizons, teaching them, about other things. So in fact, China, these Chinese parents actually like the American education, and I tell you why. It's because this American education helps get them exposed to these large corporations, such as Google, Amazon, these big corporations, which enables them to earn lots of money.
Are you saying that the parents are sending the kids to America and the UK and then all these other places to study and become spies and then bring the knowledge back?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
of
That's
course.
a good opinion. But because I do notice that now, especially now with everything that's going on, where it seems like there's no need really for foreigners to be here because there was like that wave where everybody went abroad, to master certain things, certain information, certain knowledge and skills, and then brought it back, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
But then
definitely true.
again, is that a good or bad thing? I think it's a good thing. Or maybe
Yeah,
you may think it's a bad thing.
I mean it's kind of good they're gonna be. I mean, in a way, in a way it's good and bad. But yeah, I mean, especially in Hong Kong and stuff.
Yeah, because I don't know if have you ever seen a Sindhi guy from the Indian community begging for money outside here in Hong
No,
Kong?
no, you don't really see these. You don't really see people from our community begging. No, you don't.
No, but I mean I'm not saying like from any community in particular, but I've noticed like in Canada, growing up, I've never seen uh again I'm gonna say brown people, but I've never seen a brown person begging for money, even if that person was mentally ill and you saw that person walking up and down all day. At nighttime, he had a place to rest his head, and then he can do the crazy thing the next day. But that person had, the community support, right?
Yeah,
Can you hear me or you're not hearing
yeah,
me?
I
I'm
can
telling
hear.
you something. I'm not asking you a question. I'm telling you something. I'm bringing information to you. So
Yeah, I can hear you.
if
Yeah.
I'm in Canada, if I'm in Canada and I'm observing that this particular community, I don't see anybody really. The struggle is everywhere, but I see how they move, and so that will lead me to say, okay, you know what? Let me go over there. Let me go to the source and trying to figure things out, and then come back and bring it to my people. Let me bring that information to my people. Maybe I can't get that information from over there. Like if I'm in Canada, even though I'm seeing the brown people, the old Asian people, moving the way they move, they might not be in a position to give me the information there. So let me just go to the source, give the information, and come back. But what I'm seeing now is that people that took the time to leave, let's say America or Canada, and they went to China, stay there, got kids over there, and then all of a sudden they left there, but the speech, it's so negative, pointing towards China. But when you look at the history or even the stories, it doesn't make any sense because at what point then do you have this change of heart when you left? When you left your country to go to China, you knew already what China was about. China didn't change because you changed your mind. It's not like you went there and something happened and then, oh, China is different. No, China was like that since 1903.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's true. I'm not like I think that's where we are, and people just have to change the narrative, man.
Yeah,
To Yeah, they just have to change the narrative once and
definitely.
for all, and then and look at other opportunities because what I'm asking is that you know um, should China then open up itself to everybody? This is what I'm saying. Like is it like imperative that China must open up to everybody? any and everybody. Sit down with the UN, and then whatever the UN says, then China follows. Like just to go along and get along with everybody. When they counted China out, brother. This is the message that we got for the people. It's like, okay, there's come on, man. There's bad things here. There's bad things on mainland. There's bad things everywhere, right? But when it comes to a conversation where we're blaming China for being the bully of everybody, and then we even compare this guy, this the same guy that was talking earlier. He's saying China is acting like the bully in the cafeteria that's bullying the little man, and then we're cheering for China for bullying the little man as opposed to looking at the little man and defending the little man. Again, I feel like that man who comes up with this type of theory did not look in the dictionary where in 1903 it says China mentions you have no chance. So at what point then the person that's been victimized, then you blaming that person not because he became a bully, but because the person went and did their own thing.
Yeah.
How do you see that? And then we can close right now because it's about that time, my brother.
I mean, China is
How
not.
do you see that? China is a bully? Should we say China is a bully?
To be honest, China's. It really depends to the. It really depends on the nation. What nation China is a bully to, because America kind of thinks China is a bully to them because, you know, um, in terms of COVID, like I mentioned earlier, like China's not. They
But
personally think
okay, the
China.
COVID. No, so if we're gonna jump into the COVID real quick, COVID is like there's a virus involved there, and then a lot of these viruses have a patent to them, like
Yes.
like AIDS and all these things. They have a
Yeah, yeah,
patent
yeah,
to
of
them,
course.
and a patent that means it was created in America.
Apparently, to
They might have
scientific
they
data was
might have
created
they
in.
might have went to China like they always do to manufacture the COVID over there, and then something bad happened. It's just like if you want to you want a suit, you want to order it from Guangzhou, and then something happened like ink spilled on it on your suit. Now you can't go to your wedding. That's what happened because if it's a virus and it has a patent, that means if anytime we're talking about patents and all these things, we're talking about America. So my guess is that okay, it was created in America, and then they went to China to create it or whatever they were trying to do in the lab, and then something happened there, and he came out of there. It could be.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I think it's for sure. I'm not like obviously I'm not sure how it's created, but not even talking about the virus, but just China. It really depends on the nation because China does have very good relations with like their trading partners. China is a major trading partner with Japan, for instance. Both these countries are very heavily indebted towards each other. Japan gives China a lot of their cars. And China will give
Yes,
Japan a
yes,
lot of
yes,
their
yes.
manufactured goods. Yeah.
Okay, my brother, man, we're gonna stop right here, and I just wanted to play Mike Tyson's advice to anybody, regardless of what you do in life, how you spend your day. If you ain't got nothing to think about or nothing to do, but you still want to jump into something, and you want to be the best at it or be successful at it. Again, I'm gonna play this video over and over, and hopefully we all get something out of it because to me it's very interesting and very important. Okay, let me play it.
It was within you.
Well, no, it wasn't definitely with just you in funny clothes.
And hey, I want to, in a different industry, okay? I want to be the best of the best of the best. Like you became a heavyweight champion, youngest ever. If I want to be the best in my sport, say this business, what tips would you give me? I want to be the best in our business, this business. This is insurance, they're building their businesses,
Right.
but just the mindset of wanting to be the best. What is the mindset you can transfer to somebody being the
All right,
best?
this would find out the first guy that really, really succeeded on this shit, probably 1900 or something like that. Even if he was a crook, just go from there and go all the way there and read all the way till you get to you. Okay?
So one, study history.
Yeah, study it till it gets to you. and then you realize those people were just you in funny clothes. Worked for.
Wow.
You have to give it to them.
I want to be the best in our business, this business. This is insurance, they're building their businesses,
Right.
but just the mindset of wanting to be the best. What is the mindset you can transfer to somebody being the
All right,
best?
this would find out the first guy that really, really succeeded on this shit, probably 1900 or something like that. Even if he was a crook, just go from there and go all the way there and read all the way till you get to you. Okay?
So one, study history.
Yeah, study it till it gets to you. And then you realize those people were just you in funny clothes.
Okay, so one, fantastic. I got to go study history, everybody that came before me. What else do I do?
Then you watch, you read everything they did, now you practice it. Now let's see what this shit really works.
Can you teach desire, or the desire has to come from somebody?
You can inspire desire, but can you teach it? I don't know. I never had to try to teach anybody that.
Nobody had to teach you the fire because you had it. It was within you.
Well, no, it wasn't definitely within me. You know, somebody had to bring it out and show that I deserved to have what I had to learn self-love. Get to you. They never had a fist fight in their life. They're gonna fight.
Somebody being a
All right,
best.
this would find out the first guy that really, really succeeded on this shit, probably 1900 or something like that. Even if he was a crook, just go from there and go all the way there and read all the way till you get to you. Okay?
So one, study history.
Yeah, study it till it gets to you. And then you realize those people were just you in funny clothes.
Okay, so one, fantastic. I got to go study history, everybody that came before me. What else do I do?
Then you watch, you read everything they did, now you practice it. Now let's see what this shit really works.
Can you teach?
Salute. Peace. We out. We out. We out.